Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and we're here today with another reload. This is a Star Wars themed reload for the most part. There is a small discussion we're going to have at the end about something completely different, but for the most part, we're going to be talking about Star Wars today because, of course, Star Wars Celebration is happening. Yesterday we had the big reveal for Teaser 2 of Star Wars The Force Awakens, and today was the reveal of EA and DICE's Star Wars Battlefront. Yes! I got home from work, I watched the video several times, and a lot to say about it, right? Number one, it's friggin' gorgeous. It is in-engine, however, it wasn't really in-game particularly. There were no perspectives of someone actually playing the game in first person. It was a lot of cinematic screen grabs put together to make a very appealing teaser and trailer. However, if the point of a trailer is to get people hooked and hyped, then they've done a very good job, because I'm very excited to see more of Battlefront. Everything that we wanted to be there, I think visually and scale-wise, definitely seems to be represented. We saw two locations for the most part, the Forest of Endor and Hoth, in beautiful scale and in beautiful ultra high resolution. I'd like to know what that was actually running on, that PC that was recorded on. They didn't say specifically what it was on, but it was definitely impressive. I can't imagine the game looking that good on an even high-end rig. That was probably some pretty ultra stuff. Even so, gameplay is king. And the game looked really pretty, and I think if it looks half as nice as it did there, it'll still look very impressive. I mean, there were moments in that trailer where I couldn't tell if I was watching a film or if I was watching a game. So they did a good job in that department. I'm eager to see what it actually looks like running on a normal PC and also on the next generation consoles. Good thing is we do have confirmation that it is only releasing on the PC, the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4, so no last-gen BS to deal with. It's obvious that those consoles are extra inferior now. We need to step away from them, utilize the full potential of the Xbox One, the PS4, so we can make sure that they're not really held back behind and they can deliver the best possible experience for people who choose to game on a console. Now, we could sit here all day and have a really lame discussion, like everyone in the comments of most of the videos are, about FPS and frame rate on the consoles, but I'm not here to discuss negative things because there's enough negativity in life. I'd rather actually talk about what we saw in the trailer and, of course, some of the other information that was released with Battlefront and my feelings on it. So the trailer as a whole, really shiny, like I said, but we did see a lot of small details in there, and I think there was also a great sense of the scale that DICE is trying to portray with this. You know, in that trailer, when we're in Endor, not only do we see the small AT-AT walking through the forest, we also see the larger variant of it, the huge four-legged variant of it, walking through the forest, stumbling about. Then there's some Y-Wings that come in, they run a bombing run on the thing and drop it to the ground. Tons of, scale there. It all looked really fantastic. We also got to see jetpacks, bubble shield devices. This is a whole new sort of future we have to remember now. We're not just going to be playing a shooter, a first-person shooter here. We're also playing something that takes place in the Star Wars universe. There's tons of cool gadgets. Really excited for all that. Really excited to fire a blaster pistol for the first time since some of the old Star Wars games back on PC. A lot of cool stuff there. We also, of course, saw speeder bikes, things like that. Y-Wings, X-Wings. Yeah, everything you would come to expect. However, despite the footage of all those flying vehicles like the X-Wing and the Y-Wing and the TIE Fighters, they have confirmed that there will not be space battles. Kind of sad about that. I was really hoping to see sort of two variants to this game, two modes you could hop into. One that was all planetary side stuff and then one that was space stuff, because who didn't want to do like a trench run in an X-Wing while actual players in TIE Fighters are trying to stop you? I feel like that's a hugely missed opportunity to represent something that was never really as fleshed out as it should have been in the original franchise, and that we only saw a glimpse of it in the canceled game. That was really the only time we saw these really epic space battles, was in footage of the Battlefront game that was never released. So I think that's a huge letdown for me. Really big missed opportunity. If it's something that they can do in the future as DLC, I think that would make one hell of an expansion, like Battlefield Vietnam for Bad Company 2. So get on that, EA. Yeah, DICE. When you're done with that game, it's planetary expansion, $20 only? Yeah, right. We'll see about that. Probably not. However, we do also have a little bit of information about DLC for it already. But they haven't announced any silly season pass just yet. Basically, what they've said is that 1 month after the game launches, around the same time as the release of the film, The Force Awakens, we'll be seeing a free DLC pack that will add another planet. That DLC will be called the Battle of Jakku. It's going to be set on the desert planet that already made its appearance in the first teaser for The Force Awakens. They've also went on to say that they are going to actually go ahead and integrate a lot of the stuff from the film as the film comes out into the game. That's pretty exciting. And I also think that it opens up the opportunity for this Battlefront, this game, to be a much longer running multiplayer experience than Battlefield has been. They're really set on, rather than releasing expansions and, reasonably priced DLC for the Battlefield games, they're just more about, we would just make a new game with the same stuff, and charge people full price for it. I think it's silly even from a business perspective. Why not keep a multiplayer community that's already grown and running, now on 3 very powerful platforms that have a great community, and build upon that? You're going to have the other Star Wars films coming out. This is a whole new trilogy. You can release DLC based on that and expansions based on that. These are just my thoughts. I'm some sort of a small-scale businessman over here with my YouTube. I might know some things. Probably not, but I think that would be really cool. They've also confirmed no prequel era vehicles, so none of the stuff we saw in 1, 2, and 3. Whatever, no one really cared about that stuff, to be honest. I'm not really concerned about seeing any of the spacecraft from 1, 2, and 3, because to me, none of that stuff was nearly as memorable as the stuff that was created in the original 4, 5, and 6. So I'm not heartbroken. Not heartbroken at all about that. They already did announce a pre-order bonus as well, kind of silly. If you pre-order Battlefield, you get the DLC a week early on December 1st. Always gotta waste people to spend their money without knowing what they're buying. The game is it's not going to contain a single-player campaign. However, this is something that I see people saying already, and they're obviously not reading into the information that released. This does not mean it is an online-only experience. Don't get me wrong, the multiplayer, that whole big-scale thing, multiplayer only as far as we know right now. However, they have said that there is going to be a series of missions that are playable either alone, via online, or local co-op. So we're seeing some local back here. I think that's very important. And that's also really impressive, to be honest. Local co-op. Not sure if they're going to have it on the PC version, but it's just cool to see that co-op local anything is coming to a next-gen platform. People haven't forgotten about it. They're going to utilize the extra power to give us split-screen co-op again. Why the hell not? I'm really excited about that. One thing they also announced too, I guess, is worth mentioning. This has a lot to do with EA's early access program for Xbox One, which I do need to talk about that at some time because there's been a lot of changes to that, and it's a pretty crap program from what they originally announced. However, they have said that Xbox One players will get to play the game early via EA Access. If it's anything like past EA Access, early access things on Xbox One, it means you'll get to play it 5 days sooner. $5 for 5 days? Meh. However, if there's some sort of a beta that you get into because of it, that'd be cool. I also think that would be a mistake on DICE's part and EA's part to limit the number of people into any betas. Yeah, so, a lot to talk about there. By the way, I'll have the article that I'm getting this information from linked in the comment section below if you're interested in reading it yourself. That's just pretty much the huge, info pile up that we got for the game. We also know the release date, of course, which I probably should have mentioned earlier, is November 17th, so it's coming out this year. November 17th in North America, November 20th in the UK. Very exciting that we're going to get the game this year. Now here's that part where I actually talk about some of the things that I think needs to happen with Battlefront in the subsequent months moving up to its release. I mean, November. We're in April right now. So we have May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's 7 months till release. A lot of time here, right? For the development of the game, obviously, and for 2 other big things that I think need to happen. Number 1, hopefully at E3, we need to see this game actually being played. I want to see actual footage. I want to see a team of people going at it, having a good time. Even if it's canned and slightly, coordinated like the original release of the Rainbow Six Siege reveal was. I just want to see people playing it. I want to see HUD. I want to see first person. I want to see the actual gameplay, not just in-engine shiny bits. Don't get me wrong. That's always cool. It's a good way to hype people up, but we need to see the game at some point. The other big thing is we need a beta. Hell, you can get an alpha going. Do that too. You need to test this game. You need to recognize the benefit as a developer and a publisher of allowing people to test this game. Free QA testing. Massive scale QA testing. Let us break the servers, let us break the online, let us break the game, and then fix it before launch. Make sure that Battlefront has the best launch of any EA published and DICE developed game to date. Do not this one up, man. You don't have a second chance here, guys. Battlefield 4 was your last straw. People are genuinely pissed. People are actually not spending money, and I know you're seeing it in the sales. Don't make the same mistake twice. Visceral, EA, you guys teamed up. You made sure that there was a beta for Hardline. You made sure that that thing had a solid release, and it did. I raved about its release in the article I wrote. It did very well at launch for multiplayer. Keep it that way. Bring Battlefront out with a smooth launch. We all know servers are going to get slammed, but let's get rid of these bugs. Let's get rid of any long-lasting server matchmaking issues. Let's make sure this has the smoothest launch as possible. So betas. That's what I'm telling you. Betas. I don't care if you're listening or not. Beta. Beta, beta, beta. Make it happen. You have 7 months. So that's what I have to say. I'm obviously very excited to get my hands on this thing and to play it. I'm just as equally as excited to actually see someone else play it. And it's also awesome to know that it is coming this year. A part of me did not think we were going to see a release for this game this year. However, if they do a beta, like we're all hoping, they do an alpha, they do early testing, and they find issues, we could see a delay. It's obvious that with Hardline, they're not afraid to make a delay happen. They've learned their lesson with 4. And I hope they didn't get cocky after the success of Hardline. You know, I think that game has sold pretty well for them. They really need to just do what they need to do to make sure this thing launches in a good state. I'm looking at you guys. Peering through your soul with my eyeballs. My balding head. But seriously, I want to see that thing have a good launch. I'm not even concerned about what the game's like yet. Just make sure it launches well. Make sure it launches well. So, we could talk about that endlessly. A lot of us are very excited for it. Let me know what had you guys most excited about the trailer. You know, what bits and pieces really, you know, were like, yeah. Was it the playable heroes that we saw? You know, Darth Vader, Boba Fett. You know, obviously that's going to be awesome being able to play those guys on the battlefield as some sort of a kill streak type thing or whatever they decide to do for it. Very, very excited about that. Really genuinely am. And, obviously just excited to play the game. So let me know what had you guys most excited about that trailer, though. We're going to move on to talk about something more Star Wars, and that is Star Wars The Force Awakens, the second teaser. There's not actually a lot that I want to say about that. We're not going to do an analysis of it, but it came out, and it grabbed my heart. J.J. Abrams, you have my heart, along with millions of other Star Wars fans. Please don't break it. I think, you know, a lot of people are concerned about the film, but when you look back at the prequel trilogy, right, and when you really think about why it went so badly, you know, people can say it was acting, it was character casting, it just didn't feel like it had as much heart. And I think a lot of that really was down to the large amounts of CGI effects. You know, it's just, I don't feel that you can interact with a film in the same way. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for CG and obviously animated films and things, but there's something about the Star Wars films and the way that the old ones, in my opinion, hold up so well. So many people look back at the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, and say, ugh. But I'm like, dude, it still looks amazing. I still can't believe, like, that's a film, and there's, like, somebody moving a black piece of paper behind these models, you know? It's still, it blows my mind to this day. I absolutely love the originals. They still look outstanding. And I can understand why so many people were upset when Lucas decided to re-inject them with CIG when they re-released them. Why are you tainting your own work, man? That's like, I don't know. That's like photoshopping parts of the Mona Lisa. You don't do that. So I'm really excited to see lots of practical effects. You know, they built an X-Wing. They have a working BB droid, which we saw roll across the stage. R2 is back. They built the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon in pieces for the film. You know, yes. Also, Harrison Ford, damn, dude, do you age? Do you ever age? Obviously, Chewie's not going to age. It's costume. But Harrison Ford really is still looking good, man. I could see him doing Blade Runner, too. I really could. Really just excited to see him back and flying the Millennium Falcon still. Also, you know, there's just lots of other good pieces that we can pick up out of that trailer. They announced, you know, one of the new villains, the guy who has the cross saber. Forgot his name already. Lots of good stuff there. Lots of us on the edge of our seats, very, very excited. Of course, we don't have to wait that long. End of this year, December, we'll be seeing the release of the film and the start of a whole new trilogy led by a completely new director. I think, I have respect for J.J. Abrams. I really do. I don't think he's a bad director in any way. I don't dislike him at all. I haven't loved all of his films. But, you know, I'm just hoping he can pull this one off. I'm hoping he can make this new film something that is special, something that people can remember, something that I can share with my kids. Not just have 4, 5, and 6 for them to look back to, and 1, 2, and 3, but have a whole nother set of films that they can grow up watching at some point. And we all just want more Star Wars. Just please. Please give us more Star Wars. I loved all of the animated series, and, you know, it's sad that some of those have already ended, so more Star Wars is always good. Be sure to let me know you have anything you guys have to say about that. You know, what do you think of the teaser 2? What do you think of it as a whole? You excited for the new Star Wars films? Or are you still convinced that J.J. Abrams is a bum and he's going to ruin it? Let me know in the comment section below. We're going to talk about one more thing today. It's in this little box. It's called Universal Yums. Now, I actually found out about Universal Yums through Total Biscuit and Jenna Bain, or John Bain and Jenna Bain. Jenna does videos called Total Biscuit Tastes, where they get a box of Universal Yums, and he sits down and eats them, and you find out that Total Biscuit doesn't like anything. Doesn't like cherry. The man doesn't eat food. He doesn't like a lot of food. Anyways, I really like this kind of stuff. I'm a huge fan of these types of things. I love, you know, like other countries' culture, their foods, and their snacks, and their beverages, and just the way they do things. That all interests me very much. I'm really huge into that, and like actually searching for genuine stuff, not just stuff sold here in the States that claims to be from Scandinavia. And that's actually where this month's box is from. It's from Scandinavia. So that's pretty cool. Last month's was from China? I already forget. So this is the second box that I've gotten, and there's just tons of goodies in here. This is one of the smaller boxes. It's about $14.99 a month. It's a subscription you set up. They send you one a month. So sort of some cookies here. They kind of look like the same texture as windmill cookies, if you ever had those growing up. And then we have this, which I'm actually very excited because I've heard about this. This is Finnish sweet salty licorice. Now, I like licorice, but the idea of salty sweet licorice, and if you can see the way this bends, it's just so soft in here. Ugh, I'm not sure about it. Alright, we'll eat it. I know there's going to be people who are going to be really upset if I don't try this right now. So for a moment, we're going to turn my channel into a food tasting blog with a package that I can't open. There we go. It's definitely black licorice. Let's put it that way. It's very sticky. And I can't seem to pull it apart, so we're just going to go ahead and bite it. That's not good. Oh. Alright. Think of black licorice. Covered. Oh my god, that's awful. I don't have any water in here. Oh my god. I've never had anything so rancid in my entire life. It gets worse. It gets worse. How does it get worse? Okay, here's it. Black licorice. Sea salt. And you know when you were a little kid in the winter and your nose would just run and you didn't care and it got in your mouth? That's what it tastes like. That's not good. Oh, I'm gonna give that to somebody else. So yeah, if you like opening up a box of snacks from a different country and finding out that it tastes like boogers, then Universal Yums is for you. Now seriously, check it out though. If you guys are into this kind of thing, I'm always fascinated with these types of things. There's some other good stuff in here. These geishas are good. They're sort of like a chocolate little chewy. It does tell you exactly what they are. This is a mint chocolate sort of thing. I just love this stuff. And so yeah, I just kind of want to put it out there. If people are unaware of it, I'll have it linked in the comment section below. Give it a go. Even if you just do it for 1 month or 2 months, I think it's really cool. I'm a big fan of weird snacks like this. So that's it for this reload. Let me know everything you guys have to say about everything I said and more down in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one.